So, hi, Mary. I'm going to keep going here. I got to get set up. So, let's see who else shows up and chat amongst yourselves, of course, obviously. All right, so let me just check in a second here and let everybody know this is just to say hello and good evening and welcome to the world famous Sunday Night Live mini readings. We do these by donation. Some of you are regulars, you know the routine. If you're new, have never done it before, it's pretty straightforward. Hello, Path Traveler. Hello, Pretty Maika. Hello, Mary Michael. Okay, so a lot of times people just use the super chat. If you're not familiar, there is a little sort of boxy square button just near where you type your chat. If you press that button, it opens up a little payment processor, kind of like when you're doing online shopping. Works that one. You can also do, if you've got your own PayPal account, you can send your donation to the Terra Illumination direct email here. right here, alittlebookabout@yahoo.com. Or you can go over here. Here's another way. It's all kind of the same thing. It all ends up in the same pot, mostly. You can say, excuse me, I got the wrong blah blah window. So for example, so I don't know what kind of device you guys are using, like a phone, a tablet, laptop, desktop, or whatever. But another way you can donate is go directly to illumination.com. Just sort of type it in the browser and you can find the donate page. Just click the button and another payment processor comes up. You can just put your card in there, things like that. Or the PayPal Direct. When you do it this way, the money goes direct to Illumination. When you do it through the website, it goes direct to Illumination. When you use the super chat, it goes through the big GOOGL machine and YT, Mr. Tube U machine, and they take about 35%. So it's kind of a, oh, no sound? What? What? No sound? Let me see. Oh gosh, I hope that works. I think I pretty much, I mean, it takes me an hour to set up the show. You'd think I would have it all figured out by now. We've been doing it for years. But it's, to me, it's like, it's complicated. Okay. Okay, so we've got, so I think we should be good now. What I was trying to say, excuse me, I'll start again. What I was trying to say, over here, what I was trying to say, okay, so you got the sound on this part. Right, got it, okay. So I hope I made sense of that. You can donate directly through terrillumination.com. You can go over to here using your PayPal if you have one, or you can do the super chat. You know, it all kind of works some way or other. The super chat button, Pretty Mayika has already figured it out. Thank you so much. You've got your own personal magic post-it note now. And of course, it's very, very expensive post-it note, but you do get a free reading. So there you go. Hello, Yvonne. Oh, wait a minute. Who else? Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Michelle Lawhorns is here. Yvonne J. You've been here before. Actually, all of you have been here before. It's good to have you folks around. Excellent. Okay, so it looks like the signal is good. It's stable. And I'm going to go ahead and start dive in with the astrodoodle for this evening because it's kind of an important one. I'll show you. So let's get going over here. I'm going to get out another clipboard. And if we go sort of like this, actually I'll put this over here, give myself some room. So, in case, well, I'll show you as we come out, as we do this. And I'm just going to fill it out like I always do. This is Earth, okay? Well, we start with Aries on the ascendant, and it is the 29th November 2020, and we are doing this at Pacific Standard Time. But in New Zealand and Australia and Southeast Asia, it's already Monday. So it'll be a 13th. Hello, Mary. Okay, I got it. I get your own. You got your post-it note over here. I'll give you one over here. Thank you. Very kind. Let me see if I can peel this off. then I will get on with your astrodoodles. It's the same one for everybody. Let's have a look. So I'm gonna let's see. I have to kind of concentrate. So if you want, hello Yvonne, relationship reading. Okay, and there's Heather Mocha. Hello Heather, over there in the Vancouver area. Let me just put something up there for Yvonne regarding relationships. Okay. I'm just gonna put like I'll just put like you did, a little squiggle heart thing. I'll just put a heart like that. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, so we'll put this one over here. Like this. And we'll get to you. I hope you're patient. It's kind of like first come, first serve at the moment. So let me see. Over here, I am going to bear with me a second because I have to do some shenanigans so I can do this properly. Let's see over here. Alright, so I am going to start filling it all out. Now don't be too scared, okay? You know the routine. Might want to, actually, you know what? I'm going to play some music in the background while I do this because it just helps me to, I guess, concentrate. So, Let's have a look here. Oh, hi, Jeffrey. What's going on? Yeah, we can do that. Sure, no problemo. Sorry, I'm going to put that over here. I can probably take... let's see, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can probably take one more. That'll probably be my lot for the evening. Just a donation, don't need a reading. Okay, well, thank you. I'll just put your name up anywhere. They're fun, just for celebrations purposes. Hello, Karen over there in New Zealand. Yay. Thank you, Jeffrey. So this is just for celebration purposes only. Yay, I'll just put that over there. Why not? And let's have a look. So here we are. This is it. This is what we have right now. Let's have a look. See, just have a look. See, give me a second, folks. Okay. All right, I have to go over here. I'm just clicking around, getting everything ready. So, all right, let's have a look. Well, just so that you know, hold on. We'll come back to that in a second. I just want to say hi to everybody. And let me actually, you know what? I want to get myself a little beverage. Stay right there. Don't go away. Okay. I am off to the sides of the stage right now. Loading up. And here we are. Okay. In real time. Okay. I've got some delicious fermented grape juice here. And remember, this show is not for children. And let's have a look. So I have to be careful with all that stuff with the channel. Not to get too little. Let's have a look. How am I going to do this? Let's see. First of all, yes, yum. Yes, exactly, Jeffrey. Don't worry. We'll sort it out. Okay. So, cheers, everybody. Good evening. Nice to see you all. Thank you all for being here. Now, it's kind of pointless me pointing out the things that I'm going to point out. But what's happening now on the channel is that the channel has been cut in half yet again. There's almost 0 notifications going out anymore for the channel, and all the view counts have been cut. So it doesn't matter how much I promote or how many shows I do or anything. Everything just gets cut. Okay? And a lot of people just don't know it's here anymore because they don't get their notifications, and they never will. And that's just how it is. Other channels besides Terra Lumination are also going through their own decimation as well. So it's not just me. There are plenty of other channels that do not basically satisfy the Lords and Masters. And what can you do? So I don't know what else to do. I'm just going to keep going. It's going to be death by 1,000 paper clips, cuts or something, whatever they call it. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for those of you who are here, whether you got your notification or not. Thank you. Why? Printamika. Well, what's happened on my channel is that when I started the channel about 3.5 years ago, just over 3.5 years ago, there were maybe a few hundred channels that, did astrology and tarot. And then I got started, and things got quite big quite quickly. And then things became very controversial in the world of yoga. And there was a fellow called Bikram, and he was put in, taken to court and found guilty of doing some very despicable things in the spiritual realm. Really disgusting, hideous things. And some people randomly accused my channel of doing the same thing. It was very sad because things were actually going quite well. And I learned a lot very, very quickly. And the channel was growing. I was getting thousands of views per video, 3,000 or 4,000 at a time, which for me was a lot. And then after these two people attacked the channel, I got attacked so many times, like, you're an instrument of the devil, you are running a cult, you are, it just goes on and on and on and on. And I used to get invited to the YouTube World Headquarters, and I would go there and hang out and meet with and schmooze with all these people, and I was like a little bit of one of the little darling channels for a while. And then I started doing my personal opinions and reports on this Wednesday show, and combined with the other things, the so-called algorithm decided that this channel is no longer, worthy of the full YouTube power. And so that's what it is. YouTube is an incredible tool. It's an incredibly amazing platform. And it's kind of one of those coulda, woulda situations. But it works really well for some people. And when I first started and I learned about it, it was doing really well. And then it got decimated and crushed and so on. Mostly, a lot of it is to do with being accused of being an instrument of the devil. Another thing was when I started doing my Wednesday shows about a year ago and voicing my opinions about global politics and finance and economics. And then everything went really bad. And in the last few weeks, it's got even worse, to the point where it's like, what's the point in having the channel? They haven't shut me down, but I know other amazing channels who are kind of in the same vibrational frequency as my own channel, and they've been completely shut down or demonetized or heavily suppressed. My channel is one of the ones that's heavily suppressed, but we're still here. Yay, thank you. So I hope that explains it, Pretty Maker. We'll see what happens. I have no idea. Hello, Karen. Let's get you set up. Hold on. There we go. Cheers, Karen. Thank you very much. I think that'll be it for tonight. I'm not taking a lot of readings. I'm having a very, very gentle day. I'm going through a lot of stressful things in my personal life right now. And it's taking its toll. I've been having to sleep as much as I can, and I'm spending a lot of nervous energy trying to take care of these matters. And it's left me a little bit, I would say, less than my normal capabilities. All right, Karen, here we go. Karen Clark. Okay. So, Karen, I know that you're over there in New Zealand. Thank you very much. That's the last of the blue Post-it notes. And I would like everybody to know that here tonight that Karen is a very gifted artisan. And she has her own business down there's a little seaside town in New Zealand. And she runs the business there. And she has her family nearby, and friends, and so on. Okay? Thank you, Pretty Maker. I pray that my channel works out as well. Yeah. YouTube has become a very scary place with censorship and free speech issues. There's a lot of problems going on in the world of YouTube and Facebook and Twitter right now. In case you're not aware of it, they've been brought up into Washington to testify in front of Congress about the perversions going on inside their corporations regarding the abuse of the American Constitution and things like that. Anyway, it gets really kind of awkward because, YouTube was originally the most incredible free speech platform in the world, and now it has turned into this kind of, I don't know how to describe it anymore, but anyway, it's a different thing. It's a different world. I'm grateful. I mean, I think it's incredible that we can do this at all. I just get a little bit sad because it's like the coulda, woulda, shoulda. I think my channel deserves to be 10 times bigger and to be much more fluid and supported by the platform. That's my personal view, but they don't see it that way. All right, let's go. Here we are, as some of you just arrived. Welcome to the world famous Sunday Night Live mini readings by donation. So you've already figured it out, okay? So I'm not going to even bother to explain anymore. So here we go. Let's just go on with the Astro Doodle for the evening. We've got this over here. So this is like with my Astro Doodles, it's kind of like a weather report. And let's see, on Wednesday, do you see these big green blobs here? They were very significant. Actually, they really are still quite significant. Let me add another green blob. Give me a second here, because it's not all doom and gloom. I tend to focus on the big red lines because that's where a lot of the stressors lie. Okay? I'm going to put this one over here in green. So, right now, we have, as we pretty much have all the time, we have a combination of stressful aspects and harmonious aspects. We have these very harmonious aspects between Mercury and the Scorpio energy, Neptune and the Pisces energy, Capricorn. This is a sextile, this is a sextile, this is a trine. So this is a very, very powerful, supportive energy. Incredibly powerful when you factor in this intense cluster over here. This little mini, it's not a full stellium, but the power is so intense because you've got Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto literally conjunction. It's one of these huge historical conjunctions. We haven't seen things like this for hundreds of years. So this is, in terms of astrology, astronomy, this is monumental, okay, what is happening here right now. So this is really sweet, very powerful energy. The thing is about the sextiles and the trines is that we take it all for granted. We just kind of think, oh, okay, it's a nice day, wow. But we don't understand they're these beautiful, divine forces. I think of it as sacred geometry. Think of the planets whizzing around and round and round and round. They just do their own thing. But every now and again, their orbits line up in certain ways that are very supportive for the experience of life on Earth, and sometimes very challenging for life on Earth. So, in that regard, have a look at the red blobs here. We have this one here where we have Venus opposite Uranus. Okay, it's a very strong opposition. Venus is one of the money planets. Okay, it rules Taurus. Okay, so we've got a kind of like a mutual reception here, as they call it. Venus rules Taurus, and Venus is in Scorpio, opposing Uranus in Taurus over here. I don't know if it's a mutual reception, but anyway, you've got Venus opposing Uranus, Scorpio opposing Taurus. It's very strong energy of fixed signs, and it's very much to do with money and relationships with money. In other words, for example, you could think about relationships between yourself and your landlord, or yourself and an employer, yourself and your credit card, yourself and your mortgages, your car payments, your college loans, your debts. How are they treating you? How are you treating them? Okay? The Uranus and Taurus energy is desperately craving and demanding release. Please release me from the burdens of debt and financial servitude. And Venus is saying, wow, I wish I could do everything to help. I'm not sure what to do. Venus wants everything to be harmonious in terms of joint finances, but it's actually really, really hard to do, because if you haven't watched my shows on Wednesday, the whole of planet Earth is going through massive historical, monumental convulsions right now in terms of global politics and global finance. It started in January 2020. It's been building up for years, but we're in the early stages of like a nuclear bomb dropped on planet Earth. And the shock waves are still reverberating here almost 9 to 10 months later. And it's just going to reverberate even bigger and louder starting next year. So I'm just giving you a heads up, people. The next thing we have is this. The moon is in Gemini tonight, opposing the sun in Sagittarius. So what does that tell you? Oh, it's a full moon pending. It's very, very close. It's actually coming tomorrow. But it's still very active right now. So the moon is very full in the sky, if you take a look. And it's opposing the sun. So this is a full moon, and it happens to be an eclipse. So depending where you are on Earth, you might be able to watch this eclipse. I haven't really checked. But this is part of the new eclipse cycle. You know, last year we had the Cancer Capricorn eclipses. This year we're moving into the Sagittarius Gemini eclipses, because we're going to eventually drift into, well, it's happening right now. Over here. Sorry, excuse me. We're living through these eclipses right now, and then eventually next year we're going to be the North Node. Well, I don't know if it's going to be next year, but maybe. Anyway, the North Node is going to move into Taurus. But meantime, we still have to live through the Sagittarius Gemini eclipses. So we got this eclipse basically tomorrow night. We're probably feeling it already. And as you know, I think of eclipses as evolutionary gateways. You might be feeling some kind of like indescribable pressure in your life, which is like pushing you forward into new territories, new paradigms, new experiences, which you might normally resist because it might feel uncomfortable, and yet it's happening anyway. And then it's just like an elevator. It's pretend you're just like a part of a herd of sheep, and you're getting shoved into a massive elevator, and then the gate closes, and then everybody goes up to the next floor, and the gate back there closes, and the gate over here opens up, and everybody moves out this way. It's an evolutionary upgrade, and there's no going back. So that's what's happening with the eclipse right now. And of course, for every individual, it's different, because with the eclipses here, it could be anywhere. I mean, this could affect you, anywhere. This energy belongs to Earth, but affects each one of us differently, okay? So right now, wherever you might have your like 10 degrees Sagittarius, 10 degrees Gemini, somewhere in your chart, that's where you're going to feel the eclipse, okay? The next thing we have over here, simultaneously, we have this extremely stressful, but very, very subtle, very uncomfortable energy, which I consider to be fraud. It's basically the energy of fake versus real, and especially when it comes to global communications. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a huge discrepancy between what I consider the truth of communications in global media, as opposed to what is being sold to the people. There's a huge difference. I call that fraud. I call it fake. So if you're experiencing things in your life at the personal level where something smells fishy, funny, fake, not real, or let's say unauthentic, whether it's a person, a relationship, your finances, your work, it could be anywhere. This is a real serious hot spot right now. So wherever this spot is in Gemini in your chart, you've got a Gemini spot somewhere. There's a lot of stress here. So it could be there, 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 wherever it lies in your chart. So if anybody's freaking out right now and you need a personal consultation, you know where to come. Yay! You come over here. I'll show you. You go to tarotlumination.com and you click the reading page and then you book a reading. That's it. It's very, very simple. Okay. So that was my plug for Tarot Illumination. So during the readings tonight, we've got Pretty Maika, Gregory, Marie, Yvonne, and Karen. Okay? I might pull a card for Jeffrey, like you said. And we'll see how things go. There's a very, very small number of people here tonight. It's possible because there's almost zero notifications going out for the channel anymore, and that's just how it is. These are just the facts of Tarot Illumination now, so we have to deal with it. Things are the way they are. Everything is exactly as it should be. Why is that so? It's because it can't be any other way. So what are you going to do with that? I'm trying to figure it out just as much as I hope you're trying to figure out your lives too. Okay, let me put this aside. We're going to get on with the readings now. Thank you very much. All right, so I'm just going to keep this for reference throughout the evening. By the way, you might want to mark your calendars now. I'm just letting you know. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Today, well, tomorrow, we're building up to the eclipse, okay? I look at eclipses, like I said, as irreversible evolution. If anybody wants to come to the show in the future, please remember this is when we do it, okay? Right, we have the eclipse, okay? Tomorrow, basically. And we've already talked about it here. Excuse me, I just dropped something. Oh, I'll leave it, just leave it. And then, in 2 weeks, guess what? In 2 weeks from now, the moon is going to be over here. It's going to take 14 days for the moon to go from here to here. And what does that signify? That means a new moon. And it happens to be a Sagittarius moon eclipse. So that's going to be a very significant calendar moment. You might want to mark your calendars. It doesn't show up very well here, but December, like the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Be very aware. And there's two really important happening 2 weeks from now. Okay, December 14th, we're going to have the Sagittarius new moon eclipse, and about a day later, an extremely intense stellium up here in Capricorn. Okay, it's going to be a huge pressure because the planets are tight, and then the moon is going to traverse here. Okay, the middle of December. So please be prepared. This is the reality check, putting extreme pressure on you as an individual and Earth as a planet and humanity as a population in terms of global governance, responsibility, integrity, authenticity versus fraud, fake. Okay? It is a war. What's happening with humanity right now is there is and what do they call it? An asymmetric warfare going on between reality and fraud, okay? And it's mostly being expressed in the world of global finance. So if anybody wants to talk about that, come and hang out on Wednesdays, okay? I'm sorry the channel keeps stalling, Heather, because the technology is good over here, okay? It's really good over here. Everything is good. Okay. Okay, so... okay, this is a problem. Okay, hold on. Okay, when we started the show, we had a really strong, healthy stream. Okay? And I'm checking all my markers. There's a lot of like little flashing lights that go on over here behind the scenes that tell me about all the softwares and the microphones and the connections and all of that stuff to make sure that everything is flowing smoothly, okay? Now, it also leaves, okay, so My personal, okay, so if everyone is simultaneously noticing some buffering and very, very choppy delivery of the show, you can, it's not me, okay? It's not me. Everything is working very well here right now. It's the platform itself, okay? It kind of goes in waves. Like if there's a huge amount of traffic or activity, it's like being on the highway where there's a huge amount of congestion and everything just gets slowed up and choppy and clogged up, okay? So there might be a little bit of that happening, okay? If I was a full-on conspiracy theorist and I was hyper paranoid, I would say that somebody's putting the squeeze on TL. But I'm going to stay optimistic. So here we are, folks. We're heading towards a full moon. Technically, it's tomorrow, but in New Zealand, Southeast Asia, you're probably already feeling the full moon. You might even be able to see the eclipse. I don't know. I haven't checked. But anyway, after this full moon eclipse, we have another eclipse, okay? 2 weeks from now. It's going to take 14 days for the moon to reach Sagittarius again. So that's going to be the start of a whole new cycle. A brand new Sagittarius new moon. I'm giving you a heads up right now so that you can start to prepare, okay? You need to be ahead of this stuff. That's kind of why I do this channel, because I do it for myself, because I need to be aware of the planetary aspects. Otherwise, I am a victim. I don't like to be a victim. I like to navigate. Think of it as surfing. I'm not a surfer, really. I've tried it, but I'm not. I'm too wimpy. I'm too flimsy. I'm scared. But I have tried it, and it's very exciting. But in terms of the astrology or the astronomy, I think of myself as a surfer, and I like to navigate in and out in between the waves and the troughs and the peaks and the really rip currents and the tides and all of that, so that I can keep living my life. And when I share this stuff with you guys, I'm trying to do it in such a way that you see it as like a little weather report, and so you think, I need to reinterpret that to see how it works for me in my life. Oh, thank you, Tarot Illumination. Okay, so that's kind of why I do this. And the more you get into it, the more you realize that you don't have to be a victim of those big red scary lines. And you don't have to just wander around in blind ingratitude, taking full advantage of all the green lines that I show you without being aware of how fortunate you are. It's always happening simultaneously, lots of green, but what we mostly feel as human beings are the red lines, because biologically we are programmed to detect fear, danger, threats, instability to our lives, so that we can make decisions on how are we going to deal with the threats of our lives. Mostly as human beings, we don't, unless you're some kind of, I don't know, you're completely insulated from the dangers of the world. It may be like you're super rich and you were born super rich, and the only thing you have to worry about is like, am I in a good mood today? Not like that. I'm not in that world. I'm kind of like scrabbling around in the dirt like a lot of people. So I'm best of it. So that's why I'm doing this. It's basically the whole idea is to try to help you guys make the best of your moment in time right now. Okay? So let's do it. Yay. Karen Clark. Oh, wow. I just saw the note. Karen Clark is having a full moon drumming circle tonight. Whoa. Are you doing that on the beach, Karen? Or are you going to do it at your place, or where? Oh. Okay, Karen says that the signal is going better now. Good, thank you very much. Oh, oh, so Karen, I want you to know, I have one of those dumbek things, dumbek. It's like an African drum. It's like, when you look at the top, it's like a circle, and it has the drum skin on the top. And when you look at it from the side, it looks kind of like a keyhole shape, like this. And you can bang it and tap it, you know, like a sort of hippie drum circle person. And it has a tambourine inside, so you can make very dynamic, exciting beats. Yay. All right, let's get on with your readings. Come on, come on. Okay, here we go. Let's clear the space. Okay, we work on a very tight space. Okay, there we are. I'm going to put this aside. Put this aside over here. First up, we have Pretty Maika. And we got Gregory, Mary Michael, and Yvonne, and then Karen. And we pull an oracle or something for Jeffrey later. Okay. All right, let's cheers, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Goodness. Have I ever told you guys how much I love doing this stuff for you? I really do. I get off on this. I really get off on it. If I could, I would do the whole thing for free. Just for the fun of it. I'm going in a very kind of up and down, you know, poor Terra Illumination, poor Terra Illumination. And the next minute I'm thinking, my God, I'm the luckiest guy on the planet. How did I get so lucky? And then the next minute, oh, you poor Terra Illumination, everything's so bad. So I go up and down just like everyone else. I have up days and down days, and I try to navigate and try to smooth it out. And I try to do it in the natural way. Much of a self-medicator. I like things like sleep, good food, good company, good conversation, and I like to learn and grow and expand. Okay? Here we go, makeup. You're up. Now, let me scroll through the chat to see if I missed anything. Sorry, I have some congestion right now. Pretty Maika. Okay, you didn't put any notes, Pretty, so I'm just going to go totally blind. I hope you don't mind. That's poetry. Okay, so Karen, you're gonna do the drum circle over at your studio. Yeah, because it's raining. Okay. Well, if it clears, you go to the garden. Okay, great. All right, let's have a look. So, okay, I kind of have to. I have to focus here now. I'm really up in the clouds at the moment. The Gemini Sagittarius energy for me is typically quite stimulating. I actually kind of enjoy it. And I like to feel that sense of connection with the great beyond. I like to feel as though I have like a VIP access to heaven and the sacred realms and all the invisible wonders of the great beyond. And then I get to have a look around, and then I'm kind of like one of those adventure channels. And then I make a video, and then I come back down to earth, and I try to tell stories to people about what it's like on the other side. Woo! Yeah. I get all sorts of very, very bizarre dreams. Some of them are very technicolor. Some of them are very vivid. Okay. Okay, Karen, we'll see you later. Don't worry. You're the last on the list, pretty much. So don't worry. Take your time. We'll be a while. All right, let's have a look here. What was I going to say? Oh, this is going to sound really weird. I just have to tell you. So hold on a second, Pretty Maika. I just want to share this. I don't know. This will probably get my channel shut down. I don't know. In the last few months, ever since I started to share some of my personal opinions, I became very anxious. Like, oh my God. Oh, oh, what's tarot illumination doing? Like you're a tarot reader and you do astrology. Why are you talking about global finance and politics and all these important things? It doesn't make any sense. Well, actually, it does from my perspective. It's just that it's a very awkward subject. I live in a sort of world and a life in a kind of a community where my personal perspectives are kind of way over here, but I still have a lot of energy over here. And I've been trying to deal with that and live with that and become more authentic. So it's been challenging, and I'm learning and I'm kind of growing into it. Partly the journey makes me very sad because it means I'm kind of like, I can't be everything to everyone. So anyway, every now and again I get these like celebrity dreams. You probably have had the same thing. For a long time now, I've had my Paul McCartney dreams. Like, in times of trouble, my Mother Mary comes to me. Well, Paul McCartney is the guy, like when I'm in real trouble and I'm like all lost and everything, I'll have a Paul McCartney dream. And mostly he'll be like, it's like he'll be in a restaurant and a cafe, and I'll just show up and I'll kind of like hang out next to him, like kind of nudge up like a little cat would rub up to you or something. And Paul would know it's me, and he'd say, oh man, I know how you're feeling. I understand. Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. You're doing the right thing at the right time with the right people, the right reasons, the right purposes, okay? It's tough, okay? It's really, really tough. I know where you are. I've been where you are. And it's very supportive, very, very encouraging, because me and Paul were on the same wavelength, okay? We shared tremendous synchronicity. The other one I get is Madonna. She's from the 80s or something. It's very rare, but now and again I get Madonna dreams where she does the same kind of reassurance. She has a massive ego, and she shares that little tips on how to keep your ego healthy. And recently, in fact, last night, I had two dreams. One was a Donald Trump dream, where myself and Donald, we met in the dream, and it was very casual, very comfortable, as though, I was in the White House having a cup of coffee, and he was going to this office, and I was going to that office, and we just bumped in the middle, and we kind of, how people do, like in offices, they kind of go like, oh, yeah. Okay, so I'll see you. We'll hang out again. Okay, it's one of those meetings, and he was very comforting. He put his hand on my shoulder and he went, "Don't worry about it, man. You're doing better. Just keep going, man. It's tough. You got to keep going. You can't let yourself go down because of all these people who hate you." That was my Donald Trump dream last night. And the other dream I had last night, I'm just going to share it because I'm sharing it now. This is how weird it gets. There's some major plumbing issue going on here at the house, but it's very subtle. You wouldn't hardly know it's there. And I was asked, hey, have you had any remote viewing experiences with this situation? And I replied, as a matter of fact, yes, I did. I had a remote viewing dream where, this is going to sound insane, but it does happen, because I've done remote viewing before, if you've ever heard of it. But I was able to go beneath the surface of the property and look into the dirt and the foundations below. And I could see the problem very clearly. It was very simple. It's a hairline crack, and there's water leaking slowly everywhere, and it's starting to cause a problem. And then I woke up from the dream, and that was it. Very simple. I could see all the dirt, the gravel, the rubble, the earth, and everything. It's as though they'd ripped all the concrete off, and I could see everything with my own eyes. Yay! Anyway, here we go. Sorry, I got distracted there, Pretty. I had to get that out of my system. It's probably the energy of the full moon eclipse. You know, that Gemini stuff, it makes you talk too much. And all that Sagittarius stuff makes you think like you know the answers to everything. And you're always right, all the time. Correct, Heather. Thank you. I saw your notes. All right, Pretty Maika, we're going to go totally wild here. I hope you don't mind. It's not nerves. I didn't tell all those stories because of nerves. I just had to get it out of me. Okay? All right, let's have a look. See what kind of story we have coming out. What kind of messages do we have here tonight for Pretty Maika? Okay? Through the Tarot Illumination channel. God bless his channel. Bless every single card. Bless this deck. Bless YouTube. Bless Google. Bless Facebook. Let's bring out the best in those people. Stop complaining about those people. Let's focus on the... Now, you know, in a moment I'm going to reference the charts, okay? No, I did not. Hold on. I have to scroll back. Stay there. Don't go away. Oh, doopy-doopy-doo. How far back do I go? Let's have a look. Okay, I'm looking at... I'm scrolling back through the chat. Okay, Pretty? Okay. Oh. Actually, no. I don't see notes. What am I missing? What am I missing, Pretty? Hold on. I'm scrolling through the chat right now. I'm trying to go back and forth. What am I missing? Okay, I'm sorry, Pretty. Pretty. Hold on. I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get started with your reading, but you put some notes in. I can't find them. So could you, as soon as you can you just type in a quick note or something? What are the messages that we have for Pretty tonight? The subject of ... Okay, we'll fill in the blank. So something very simple, you know, finances, health, parents, children, relatives, spirituality, career, whatever it might be. If you could just type something you want to have as a reference to a particular subject, okay, we'll do that. All right? So I'll be waiting here patiently. Thank you. There we go. Doopy-doo. Well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to watch this. See, watch how this thing fills up right before your very eyes. This is magic. This is YouTube magic happening in real time right now. Look at that. Whoa, I filled it way too much. Oops. Oops. Okay. All right, here we go. Well, I tell you what, we'll just make that last, okay? That's how we'll do this. Okay, I'm pretty well shuffled. Actually, I'm going to just shuffle it again. Oh, your service is slow. Well, let's just hang out a little bit more. Type it in, send it in. Okay, just an open reading. I can do that as well. I can see your typing. Your typing is coming through on the chat. I can definitely see it. So don't bother. There's no point in writing a huge story in the chat. You could just put one word if you want to. Health, finance, love, whatever it might be. Whether you're single or coupled up, whether you've got kids or you're separated or single, no matter. We can do whatever comes up here. When I do my readings, I use my very, very simple, super streamlined situational spread. The whole idea is just to get to the point, even though it sounds like I'm doing everything I can to avoid getting to the point. All right, let's have a look. All right, so I already did all of this, but we're going to go back again. Cutting it up. Okay, I'm getting a feeling like you're here now and we are ready to go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. And let's have a look at the weather for you. 10 of Cups. Okay, so with the eclipse here, my feeling is that this is a subject matter that is in question right now. Okay? To me it looks like, how do we define happiness? How are we going to define happiness and love going forward? What does it look like for you? Okay, you just typed it in, so family life. Okay. So there's so many different, ingredients to happy family life, okay? But that's really what this card is about. And so to me this is like a big question mark right now. How do we define happy family life? How do we define what is a loving type of characteristic of family life, okay? Because I've seen it all, okay? I just want to share something pretty. I'm not a parent. I don't have any kids of my own, but I have been sort of like a stepdad, foster parent to at least 6 children, different mothers and so on, and different fathers and so on. And I had this like recurring role of being like a Mr. Mom. And there's all sorts of things that go into family dynamics, but one of the things that I noticed is, like, if you have kids, you have to understand the kids are intensely aware, okay? They might not be able to put it in words, but they're almost like little pets, They sense things, they know things, like if there's something wrong in the family, if it's mommy, if it's grandma, grandpa, if somebody else got born or someone else just died, or someone lost a job, someone affects the internal dynamics of the family, the sweet energy of a love vibration. Like even heavily troubled families, there's a monumental biological that occurs between a parent and a child. Some of it's very tragic, some of it's absolutely profound and beautiful in between. So with the with the 10 of Cups there, obviously the condition of your family and family life is very important to you right now, and it's coming to a head. It's eclipse. It's bringing it into the light for full examination. So when I see this, the 10 of Cups here is asking you, Preti Mika, how do you define happiness? What constitutes a happy, loving home? What are the things that are important? It might be an idea to, put a list or create some definitive word. Things like a lot of families, if it's a very stressed up family, they often